Hello YouTube, my name is Trey, and today I'm going to be bringing you a space shooter game made with Unity. If you're going to skip ahead to the actual game making and the actual tutorial, I'll put an annotation on the screen, and if you want to check out the YouTube channel that I use to create these videos, I'll put that in the description, and that's the actual Unity YouTube channel, which has more in-depth videos. So to start things off, I'm going to talk a little bit about my project. My plan was to basically create a game with Unity. In the past, I've used a thing called Scratch, and that's a lot of drag and drop type of game development. But this time I wanted to go more in depth and more behind the scenes with the coding and everything else. So, with my project, for the most part, I've followed the plan pretty well. If I could change something, I would have wanted to maybe add more levels or do more in-depth with it, but that didn't really work out because I had problems with the coding and stuff. With this project, you kind of have to plan for mistakes and plan for error. So I had problems with the coding, and it's just something I had to work past and do all that. But yeah, so I'm going to get into my project right now and show you a little bit behind the scenes on what I did. I'll talk more probably about my project in the end, so you can just stop the video there if you want. Alright, so jumping into this is what Unity looks like. Right now I'm going to show you two videos that I captured while creating my game. So basically, if you're coming from Unity, you know the layout. I have it set a certain way. If you're not, and you're not familiar with Unity completely, basically here's your scene view, and you can go to your game view. There's some tools up top. This is your main camera, I guess. This is what you see. The hierarchy, that is where you add all your objects and put them in order and stuff. Then you have all this. So to start things off here, the first capture is me adding the ship. So basically I downloaded these from the assets store, and all these textures and models and materials and all that came with it. So I basically just dropped the vehicle player and then dropped the texture with it. So this is me setting the scene. Basically with this, it doesn't deal with movement at all. It's just placing the ship and getting the colliders with it. So as you'll see later in the video, I'm going to be adding components here on the right side. And basically what that does is it puts a barrier around the ship. So the ship will, get destroyed, or it'll move and dodge the bullets and do all that. So right now we're adding a rigid body, and that's just getting the frame of the ship and setting that. And then here we are getting the capsule collider. So this is the actual boundary of, and it'll read if it gets hit or not, or missed, all that. So basically this is setting the frame. So I need to adjust the frame so that it fits around the ship. It doesn't have to be perfect necessarily, but you want it to get it as close as possible. Here I'm adding the mesh collider. That is just, it does the same thing. It's another outside body. It's more precise than the capsule is. And then here I'm adding the texture to the ship, so the box has something to be put on. And then that's basically just the ship. Now that doesn't deal with any of the shooting, that doesn't deal with any of the movement, that is just the ship itself. So going on to the video number 2. This is past the movement, this is the actual shooting of the ship. So as you can see here, we're gonna basically create a VFX under our bolt, and that's just going to be like the video on what it looks like. So with that, that spawns a big gray box. Now what are we going to do with this big gray box? We're going to add a texture to it. So first, we go up to the material and we create a new material. And then with that, we add the texture to the material, and then we add the material to the black box. And it's just a drag and drop, as you can see through here. And that puts our bolt on there. But right now, it looks like just a big black square with a laser going on it. So from there, we're gonna adjust the particles. So in the FX Bolt orange box, this is right now I'm just adjusting the particles. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You can just play around with that and get it more precise if you need. And this is just adjusting. This is adding another rigid body component. And what that is gonna do is it's gonna later on adjust the bullet so it'll count as a hit or not if it hits an asteroid or an enemy. This will all come together in the end. And then through here I'm adding the collider, which again is just the outside base. It'll like read if it hits or not, or if it misses. And then here I'm adding the script. So I create a new script, and then I open up Xarmin because the Unity coder won't work. And this is what the coding looks like for this certain specific bolt. And for the coding, I got it off the Unity site, which I will put in the description, as well as the Unity YouTube channel. Both are very helpful, and I suggest you go check that out if you want a more in-depth tutorial, since this is a broad tutorial of just my project. So now that you've seen behind the scenes, I'll actually pop open Unity itself and show you what my project looks at finishing. So as we wait, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I have the text and all. It looks a little bit different. So I've got the background and I got all the components along with that. And then the player, and this has the coding and the audio and all the components. And then the star field is the background, and it makes it's the background, I guess, and it makes it just more colorful and whatnot. The boundary is the boundary of everything, the enemy and everything else. Game controller, this is the script to do with the basically this is the enemy and how it spawns randomly, and then this also adds the scroll to the background, and then the text, the camera, and the lighting. All those have their components. So that's what Unity looks like, and this is what this project looks like when it's done. So I'm going to close that and open up the actual game and show you that. So this is the finishing touch. And it's got music and all. You click space bar to shoot, left, right, up, down to move, and then boom, I'm dead. So that's basically my game. It's just a constant, the background scrolls, enemies spawn random, asteroids spawn random, and you get points. So it's just like a survival based game. So basically that is the main thing about my project. That is a little bit of behind the scenes. With this project, I wish I could have maybe added more levels, maybe made it more difficult. Difficulty would have been a cool thing to add. But I had trouble with the coding, and that became an issue for me. So with this project, I learned that a big project like this, you have to plan for. You have to plan for mistakes. I had problems with the coding for a while, and it wouldn't even let me run my game. But through problem solving, I figured out how to fix it, and it was all better. This was a very fun project, and I think it completed my goal since I just wanted to build a game. I've never used Unity, I didn't know how hard it would be, but it completed my goal. It was a very simple goal, and yeah, I'd just like to change a few things, maybe add more levels, maybe spend more time on it, and who knows, maybe next time I'll be more experienced with it so I can use it more. But this is my Space Shooter how-to video, and thank you for watching.